Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. Today's video on Electric Cafe is about James Zeiter. James Zeiter is a dub techno producer, or just techno producer, deep techno producer from UK, I believe. It started roughly 1997, 1996, with a couple obscure records, and kind of disappeared for a while. It was kind of a mystery for a while who JS was. The first record, and then he kind of disappeared a couple years, and then he came back probably late 2000s. And now he's been fairly consistent about making a record or two at least a year. Um, he doesn't have a lot of input. I don't have necessarily a lot to say about his music, but I wanted to do a video because I really respect his music. I think he's one of the best at what he does. And I was doing some thoughts on dub techno and techno artists to do a few reviews on today, a few videos on today, and I figured, what would be he, he's in there. He's in there with some of my favorite techno producers. My favorite dub techno, specifically my favorite dub techno producers section, where I have like Chain Reaction and Basic Channel and Mauricio and Shinichi Otobi and Monolake and some of my favorite dub techno producers. As far as some other ones as well, in my favorite dub techno producers section. So, and I have all the records together, which is kind of rare. If you saw my record collection, I don't necessarily. I have a couple things that are kind of organized together, but I'll play a record and forget where I put them, and but I do have some things that are together that I can pull all of the records that I have of a particular artist, and some of those are some of my favorite labels and favorite producers that I do have all together, and one of them is JS Zeiter. And so one of the cool stories about JS Zeiter's first and I guess it's James Zeiter, right? It's James. I'm trying to think where the S comes from. Yeah, the first record he came out was JS01, and basically it was a single. This kind of explains it right here in the discography and the notes here on the CD, so I'll read it just so I don't make a mistake, if you don't mind. JS01, when it first came out, and I'll go by the tracking listing here, came out in October 1997, had 335 copies. This was a seminal release in the story of Sven Vath playing this record. JS1 was the last track he played of the night at his club The Omen in 1997, and that image and knowing the song and loving the song for so many years is just a great memory, a great I wish I was there type of moment, because I love the song so much. I like Sven Vath a lot, and just knowing that he played this as the last song of that club's history was so cool. Then you have JS01, which is the remix, right? The remix of it. May of 1998, there's 471 copies. I don't necessarily know which one's my favorite between the original and the remix. The original is a little bit more analog on a couple of the notes, and the difference, really the bigger difference is with the remix. Is the remix is a little darker, a little bit more techy, and it's a perfect complement to the original. It's so hard to pick a favorite. Both are so amazing, and there's a lot of his music that's kind of derivative of those two records, and I think when you know James Zeiter track and you hear James Zeiter track, when you hear one of his new ones, it sounds like him. And there's not a lot of producers in dub techno that have a signature sound, and he's one of them. You know, JSO2 came out June 1998, 506 copies. Again, and they're both. Again, this one was single-sided as well. JS03 and 03R. That was a two-sided one, August 1999, 430 copies. JS03 and the remix, October 1999, 270 copies. 2004 and 04, actually, yeah, 04 and 04, the remix. 2010, 210 copies. And then JS04 and R2 had a repress, September 10 of 200 more copies. And this CD comp came out shortly after, just to kind of gather all of them. This is an awesome collection of CDs of dub techno music. 7 awesome tracks. I really like obviously JS1 and JS1 remix are my favorite. JS3 and 3R are probably my next favorites. Such a great track. Also during that, during the time, he also had another project called MC. I don't know if I can get that on there. MCM LX which is a Roman numerals course for 50, 60. Well, is that L is 100 or L is 50, and then is that 2015? No, that can't be 2015. This came out before that. Anyways, this is also the first CD on the label, so it doesn't have anything to do with that, but because it says MCD01. But this is kind of a collection of the music he did under this name, and this is really strong as well. This one has a little bit of electro as well, kind of getting away from the dub techno. This one's really strong. I think there was three or four EPs that this combines. If I'm not mistaken, there was it could be probably 3 because there's 3 on here, but the orange, the yellow, and the white one, really strong. I made a if you go to Discogs and you look up James Zeiter, and that's Zeiter with the Zeiter, and you look under that logo. I think I did a review under each of the 3 EPs probably in 2011 or something like that, 2009, somewhere around there. Also this is kind of a collection of other stuff he had out. I think this came out in 2012 or 2000, somewhere around 2012. This one's called Decade. Or I'm sorry, Analog 1, and it's called Decade. Really strong as well. Going into some of the records that I have him. This came out in 2017. It's S Zeiter. It's called Untitled 1996 and Untitled 1997. So this was kind of even though he had a couple tracks that kind of came out before this and kind of signaled his return, this one kind of really sparked the interest in him in his back catalog. And because James Zeiter is not really, I wouldn't say he's like fully, he's not on the respect level of, certainly not a Basic Channel or Monolake or anything like that, but I would think of like people like Gradient, and like he's not even on for some reason he's just a very overlooked techno producer. A lot of people don't bring up his name when they mention the best dub techno artists, and it's a shame because he's one of them. He has to be one of them. There's Pulse. This came out in like 2014 or something like that, 2015. Submerge and Pulse. Let's see what else we got here. This is Strata and Strata the Abstraction. For DJing and stuff like that, like, it's awesome that they put one track on one side. It's just, let it breathe, let it play. 45 RPMs. These sound so good. This one's 2013. Like, these 45, man. Not only is he a great producer, these are fantastically mastered, fantastically pressed on 45 RPM. Talk about making a club sound alive. I played one of these out. I can't remember which one I played out like a month or two ago, and it just dynamically sounded so much better than stuff I was playing on on other 45s, let alone 33s. Just sounded like 9-day difference. Like, just amazing production and amazing pressing. Here's a Elliptic and the remix. I think I played this one, if I'm not mistaken, the alternative. Here's the regular version. This one's he's put out a good amount of stuff. This was 2012. He's probably put out. I haven't catched up on his stuff for the last couple of years. I need to get. I need to kind of catch up on what he's been doing the last couple of years. But I would say he's probably, since he kind of came back, he's probably put out maybe 15 EPs or something like that. 15 records. All of them are strong. I mean, I'd like to get all of them. Since 2000, this is probably the latest one I got. 2020 Kinetic, and then Kinetic version. This was probably the last S Zeiter one we've gotten. I wonder if this download code works still. I'm bad about using download codes. In fact, if anybody watching this video and you want to see if this code still works, message me. I'll give it to you. Yeah, I'll give it to you. My email is I don't know if it's on my channel or not, but it's Tim Humphrey, TIM, and then HUMPHREY, the numbers 45 at hotmail.com. So Tim Humphrey 45 at hotmail.com. You can have the digital code for this, and I'm not sure if it still works. It's from 2020, but you're welcome to have this code if you email me. At least I know somebody's watching and you get a gift out of it, right? That's kind of cool. I'd be cool if you emailed me and got that for free. I'd be happy with that. I was thinking this one might have one too. This one's still on Ranges. I have had the pleasure of doing a few promo write-ups for Ranges label in the past couple of years. This is his called Turning Point EP. This is Ranges 06. Yeah, really strong dub techno label. Ranges. Check them out if you don't know them. But yeah, for those that don't know, I don't like to talk about myself a lot, but I do some reviews for dub promos for dub techno labels. I do them for I do grayscales for the last 5 years. I started doing space launch review promos about 8 months ago. I've done some ranges in the past. I've done some 7 villas. Started doing those a couple years ago, and also Avant Routes. I've done some of theirs, and then also a few other ones, here and there. But those are the ones I do more consistent, do the labels for, do the reviews for. But I really enjoy writing the promos. When artists and labels kind of reach out to me to do the promotions, I really enjoy that. I really appreciate too that they look at me as a resource they can use that can explain their music and the history of the music. Here's JS05, which is a continuation of the JS series. He brought that back, and this is the first one since the original series. And then also here's a JS06. So I don't think they put those on color vinyl, if I'm not mistaken. I think those were all on black vinyl. Oh no, JS5 is on red vinyl. But man, I'm telling you, like Echo Space, basic channel and stuff like that. James Zeiter is up there. James Zeiter may not. Well, I wouldn't say he doesn't do it on the ambient level that Echo Space does, as far as the quality. There's just not as much. But when he generally does on the other side of like a reduced version, which is kind of a beatless version, for the most part. Yeah, it's just, I won't say he doesn't do atmospheric stuff at all, but as far as like techie stuff, like more beat driven dub techno, like he's one of the best. He's one of the best. I was just thinking if 2 people end up emailing me, I guess if you happen to be the second person, I'll give you a free download for maybe something off my label or something. I don't know. If you like. But yeah, that's my James S Zeiter stuff. I don't have a lot of it. I have a lot to get. There's definitely a good 10 or so on my want list that I want to get from him. He's definitely one of the artists that, thankfully, he's done a good amount in the last couple of years. But some of those JS1s and O2s, those go for like 60, 80, $100, $120 for a record, and I'm not spending that on any record. But the good thing is he's done a lot of great dub techno since. Some of them are here, but there's still probably another 10 that I need to get. He's just a consistent, strong producer. He doesn't put out a lot of stuff just for the heck of it. Like when he puts out stuff, it's going to be good. He's definitely one of the artists in dub techno that I buy blindly, without even hearing it. Like I'll just buy it because I know his stuff is quality. I've never had a JS Zeiter one where it hasn't been terrific. And the other thing about it, even if you didn't like it, you could probably sell it in a couple of years and double your money. But yeah, that's my video on James Zeiter. Just wanted to highlight him real quick. I might do some reviews. I'm not sure if I'll ever do like EP reviews. I'm kind of more gonna stick to album reviews. I think for a while because there's a lot to get to. But I think there might be some time I might do some EP reviews, and just kind of, especially because I do want to put out. I do want to do a top 100 dub techno tracks, so I think I'll definitely, go through them and at least rate them, so to put them in there. I don't know if I'll necessarily review them. I don't know if there's really that much to talk about when you review a dub techno record that has 2 tracks on it, but, there's not so much, there's only so many words you can use for techno. I could probably write like a paragraph and be the same thing as putting a video up. But yeah, check out his music if you don't know his music. James Zeiter. It's Zeiter. and his first name is James. Check out his music. Curious if you guys know him. What's your favorite James Zeiter record? All right, thanks a lot. Have a good day.